Seconds. Okay.
I hit the button.
All right.
And we're live.
And we're live. Hey, everybody. This is Matt from Texas Toast.
Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone.
And we're live on Thursday. I'm in my regularly scheduled time for live, and you are 1 hour earlier than normal.
Yeah, it feels way earlier than normal.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
So this is not the first time that this has happened, but
No.
I love it when you guys are in town and we get to do live streams and we get to talk about whatever it is we're going to talk about, and I get to adjust the chair that I'm sitting on because, there we go. Yeah.
At least you can be as tall as somebody this week.
That's right. Because, Jim is a lot taller than I am.
That's right.
So anyway, Dylan, what's the good word, man?
Well, we're here. We're making guitars. We've made 6.
Yep.
And they're cool.
They are cool.
Tomorrow's reveal is going to be off the chain.
Yeah, they're so this is the $9,000 Stratocaster Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that we call it $9,000 Stratocaster Workshop is that Chris and I wanted to be able to provide everybody with a guitar that is equal or better than the finest boutique Stratocaster. And the way that we were able to do that is because we know 2 OEM manufacturers, you and Steve from Maximum Guitar Works, that work hand in hand with your favorite boutique guitar builder that's not Texas Toast Guitar. Well, although you and Steve both work with us too. So,
yeah, for sure.
But you guys work with lots of different industry people.
Yeah.
And I got a super chat from Brian Duncan for $500.
Looks like you're,
Oh, no, wait, $5.
Looks
Sorry.
like you're winning the super chat.
I forgot. I couldn't read the decimal place because my eyesight is so terrible.
Oh, I got a super sticker though. Oh, you know what?
No, what?
And you don't get to make the little noise.
Oh, I don't. Mine doesn't make a noise. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brian says, let's go. Let's get this party started. God bless you, Brian. So Brian and Jim and Chris from Odyssey Beer Works stopped by yesterday. So it's cool when those guys all come by, and they do every time we have a workshop because it's a neat fellowship thing. And,
Yeah.
and you know what? Brian and Jim have been to many of the workshops that we offer, and Chris from Odyssey Beer Works, the great American Beer Works, it's right behind Dylan's hat over here. He helps sponsor the show by bringing us Odyssey Beer Works and letting us do cool stuff like our $400 guitar building contest. We have that. He sponsored that. And we had that at his facility. So it's a super cool thing for those guys to come by, and everybody gets to meet them, and they get to meet everybody. And yeah, guys, they get together and they do this stuff, and they they share emails and stuff. And there's a Facebook group that the guys who are alumni can join, and it's a fun thing. So
It is. And the things that you're doing now. Okay, so like I remember when you first started this thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I came out for one of the first ones. And
that's when you and I met. Right?
yeah, and they have evolved so much. Like, even if you've done this before, you should try it again, because some of the stuff that's available, some of the technology that you're using and that they can get exposed to, like, not very many people have, a beloved pin router.
Yep.
And not very many people have a $100,000 CNC machine.
No, including me.
Including, not very many people have a tanning bed for a guitar. The UV light curing paint system.
Yep.
These bodies were literally wet paint like 20 minutes
Just
ago.
a little bit ago, yeah.
And now you can just like touch them and stuff.
Hey, can we take a super chat from Brad Guitar Miller, who says, I see you're 5 and raise you 1. Thank you very much, Brad. Brad Guitar Miller doesn't know this yet, but he's planning on coming to the one in December to build a Les Paul. Or maybe should I say his wife doesn't know yet that he's planning on doing that.
We got a super chat over here from BC Rich 581. Oh, thanks.
Bernie Rico.
And we got a super chat from Van Shank Guitars over here saying, Dylan for the win.
There you
What
go.
the heck, man. How about that?
That's nice. Nice. Thanks, Van Shank.
What I think is so neat about this, too, besides making all the friends, it's cool. We get to meet some really fun people this time.
Absolutely.
This has been a really fun week. This class, this workshop that you're doing, when we first thought about doing this and you talked to me about doing it, you remember you were like, I don't know if anybody's going to kind of want to be into this particular aspect of it and this and that.
Originally, I thought no one would want to do it.
It has become my favorite. I love doing this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, I drive all the way across the country.
Twice or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Brian Duncan says, I see you're 6 and raise you 1.
Oh.
I
mean, we've got people from over oceans.
That's right. So in
beyond the sea.
this workshop, we have our second intercontinental participant who you will meet tomorrow. We've got guys from Texas, guys from Belgium, guys from Colorado, and everywhere in between. Mm-hmm. Well, not everywhere in between, but a lot of people from all over, and it's cool that people come out and do this with us.
You know what you should do? You should have
Hey, you should do it.
You should do it. You should have a map somewhere.
Oh yeah, with little push
people. Yeah, where people could put this is where I'm from, and then you have this like whole
like at the sandwich place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that idea.
You know, have some kind of way of everybody that's ever been to a thing checking in.
We should put it up. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to go to Office Depot this week and do that. That's
a neat idea. Just to, because the community to me is, we could talk about the guitars. We'll talk about those too.
And we will.
Doing. But the reason I do it's because I get to meet people. You know, I've been talking to a couple of these guys on the internet and in groups and various things for years and years, and then finally get to meet them in person.
Yeah, that's neat.
And, you know, it's just really cool. It's just a really, really cool thing.
And people just kind of stop by. So like today, for example, Ed Elliott from Ed Elliott Guitars came by.
Yeah.
And that was neat. And Ed used to work at Mosrite back in the day, and he still is making Mosrite style guitars today.
And Mosrite
winding pickups and
stuff is near and dear to you and Chris's heart both.
It's
you guys,
because I am a super huge Mega Ramones fan, and Chris is an instrumental music fan.
And is a weird guitar fan too. He likes odd guitars that look upside down and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like the story.
Yeah, I like the story too, Chris.
Yeah. He could give me his card.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have one. See, I don't know if you can see it, but I have one on the refrigerator. It's been there for months.
Yeah.
Doc Stiltonen sent $20 Canadian and said, "Raise, dang. Thank you, Doc. That's very kind of you." Is Doc back from his trip to Asia? Okay,
yep, he is. Yeah, he is. Yep.
Cool, man. Outstanding.
So what are we building this week?
Well, Dylan, we are building, this is our $9,000 Strat workshop. So like I was telling you guys, this is, we kind of, it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. We looked up a bunch of like boutique guitar makers and looked at what they were charging, and we're like, wow, $9,000. We can do that for nowhere near $9,000. And so it's sort of like that. Do you remember I know you don't eat Carl's Jr. burgers, but remember when Carl's Jr. had the thing, the $6 burger? Mm-hmm. And it was, of course, now that I think actually does cost like $7 or $8.
Yeah.
But when they came out with it, it was like, this is the same burger that you get at one of those places with all the crazy stuff on the walls. And that's what this is too. This is not just like the same guitar that would cost you $9,000 from, Luthier Brand X. This is the exact same guitar because we're using parts from like I said, Steve at Maximum Guitar Works, who works hand in hand with a bunch of different manufacturers, and you who work hand in hand with a bunch of different manufacturers, and it's a way to but you get to help do it.
Yeah.
So like you get to wind your own pickups, and you get to press in your own frets, and you get to sand a bunch of stuff, and you get to, if you want a sunburst or something, you can say, hey Chris, can you do a sunburst for me? Or you can do some of it or all of it. So let's take a super chat from YT Party Tonight, $8, who says Gabba Gabba Hey, which is a classic Ramones thing. If you guys are if you're into the Ramones like I am, and I am. So anyway, so why don't you have a peek at that?
And this thing is cool because this particular neck has the 57 Strat V to C.
That's right. We actually took Jim's actual legitimate 1957 Strat to Steve, and we kind of planned out this guitar based on his, and it's got the same V to C neck profile, which I really like quite a bit. I think that the thicker, chunkier necks are give you less hand fatigue, if that makes sense. They're less fatiguing to play because they fill your hand up more. And I used to think that, how can that be? But now I get it, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because I have always been, if I were to see V to C on paper on a spec sheet, I would never choose that guitar. But then playing Jim's 57, I was just like, this is the best neck I've ever had. And so to model this one after that's pretty cool. We should also
but
say...
you didn't have to, you could also choose a C shape.
We should also say that this neck there's a whole rest of a guitar that's going to go with it.
That's right.
And this guitar is going to be available
for purchase tomorrow.
For purchase tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So stay tuned for tomorrow's reveal because you're going to want it. It's really sick.
The body color is Fiesta Red, and pickups are your whole set that you wound. So that's the other thing. You wound pickups for to kind of as a demo.
Yep.
And we built a guitar as a demo too. So like when you were winding pickups, you're like, all right, instead of just winding a set and then somebody doesn't get to do it, you wound a set. And when I was pressing in frets or when we were sanding or we were doing whatever it is we were doing, that way we have something to demo and the guy. Oh, sorry. And then the guys can see it in action before they do it, and then we don't have to rob them of the fun of doing it.
So there's 5 guitars that were built.
How's come this one says Dylan? I already know the answer, but yeah.
Because you told me to put it on there.
Yeah. Well, we can't do this headstock.
Right.
Yeah, but you can.
Right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the idea was that 5 other folks built their own guitars, and you and I and Chris built one.
Yeah.
And that one is going to be available tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So basically, you didn't even have to come to the class, and you could still have the guitar.
That's right. You get. In fact, okay. Now we did have a guy who was unable to make it at like the 11th hour. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have to go to the doctor." So we're going to shift his all of his stuff to another workshop in the future. So because he had a neck made that had his name on the back. And he had a body that he saw. So we have his body, we have his neck, we have his all of his hardware, because we have to order all that stuff in advance.
Yeah.
So like we ordered all the stuff from Callahan and we paid Callahan. We ordered all the stuff from Steve, we paid Steve. You came out here, you drove all the way out here from Georgia. We're paying you to do that. So we're just gonna slide all his stuff to another.
Makes totally sense. It makes total sense because he's not gonna want to give up that slot.
No.
If he's sitting at home watching this tonight being, man, I wish I could have been there, don't worry about it. Just come out, take your spot. You will love it. It's definitely worth hanging on to that spot.
And we know when we do the reveal tomorrow, you guys will see a lot of really cool guitars, and I'm sure everyone will say, well, yeah, you want to come out and do this.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
All right, so that's a tidy little 10 minutes. What else you got?
What the heck? It's only 5:13, dude. I feel like I've been talking for an hour.
So this is the second time that we've done this. What do you think? What's your takeaway so far? We're 4 days in. We've got tomorrow is a lot of fine tuning and assembly and getting stuff ready to go. So what do you think is the?
Say hi to everybody.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Hey, so we do have a special guest. He's gonna hold on. Let me fix the chair for you.
Can you see me? Can you see me? Oh, I don't fit in the picture.
You will fit in the picture.
Oh,
have a
my
seat
God.
in the picture.
Oh man! All right. Wow.
Oh, hey, you do fit. Look at that.
I just wanted to come and say hi because I got a chance to come up here for the workshop this week, and I mean these people are real. I know you're looking at them on the screen, but they're real. And this class is real, and it's pretty amazing. So,
and for those of you that don't know who this is, I don't know what your problem is.
San Antonio
This
basketball.
is David Robinson.
Yeah.
This is one of those things me and you talked about. You never know who's watching your videos.
I had no idea. I had no clue.
Until he showed up on Monday morning.
Yep.
What do you think so far?
It's amazing. For me, I just started playing guitar, so I'm just learning. But to be able to open up your guitar, take a look at it, see what's in there, tinker with it. We're leveling frets. We're putting in the electronics, soldering things. We wound our own pickups. So, it makes me feel a little bit more familiar with the guitar, which is real cool.
You want to show off your acts that you put together?
You wanna-
so far?
Yeah, I suppose.
Now, because
Well, you have to leave early tomorrow.
I do. I have to leave early, so you probably
you-
won't see mine finished.
Yeah,
But,
so let's the pick guard, the loaded pick guard, and the neck. If you could bring that over.
Doc Stilton
So I
says
went with
hey
translucent
David,
white.
welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Well,
So
first
that's
of all-
very
Yeah,
cool.
nice.
First of all, we need to talk about which way this guitar faces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's lefty. So
Yeah,
I'm a little I'm the opposite side. So got my little pick guard here. We wired up today. Unfortunately you can't see my neck too much, but
can
see
get
my
a
little
picture.
logos on the end.
You gonna leave that fretboard blue?
It's good. It's a good looking blue
I
fret.
might have to pull the tape off there at some point.
Wait, so what's this 50 for?
That
didn't
was
know.
that was my number while I was playing. So
Yeah.
so I got a few things on here to remind me of my career and my life, and this will be a keepsake forever until my kids take it away from me. So
I'm gonna
very
see if I
excited.
can con you into bringing your sons out next time for another one.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they can all have matching.
Yeah, well, two of my sons play guitar and they're wonderful. So maybe I'll figure out how to get the schedule together.
Well, so
We have normal
let's-
questions for our reveal, folks. And
Okay.
I would like to ask them. of
Okay,
him
all right.
tonight.
Let's try that. Let's try that on for size.
Yeah. So, first of all, what was your favorite part? Isn't that one of the what was your favorite
Yep.
part of the entire week?
Yep.
Yeah,
When
wow.
it comes to, and we know you haven't done it all yet. You'll do some of it tomorrow, but
Yeah. For me, I think seeing the electronics come together and the fretwork is kind of cool. That's kind of intimidating when you start and you look at it and you're thinking, am I going to get these level? Or is it going to be? But it's great. It's a great process, and they're all right there every step of the way to kind of walk you through it. So. I think mine might even play halfway decent. So
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna
it's
play
going to.
really good. Yeah.
it's
no,
going.
it's really it's amazing to see it all come together, and in really such a short time. I think that's part of what surprised me is how beautiful they are, and how they've come together so quickly.
What is the thing that surprised you the most? Like your aha
Just I
moment?
think how different they can be. You think a Strat is a Strat is a Strat. You've seen a ton of them, but somehow in a couple days I feel like I've made my own Strat. It's not like anybody else's Strat. So that's kind of cool.
It's totally cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that building your own guitar, anything custom like that is such a cool thing that is actually quite accessible.
Yeah.
And so you should do it.
More than you think, and then being in this class too, we have some amazing people. You really get the chance to spend a lot of time with them. We go out and we eat lunch together, and we get a chance to talk, and that part's the fellowship's been fantastic as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That really means a lot, David. That's a
Yeah.
really cool thing that we didn't really know when we started doing this. We're like, well, what's it going to be like? And we thought, well, maybe we're just going to have to build. This was 4 or 5 years ago when we started doing this. Chris and I thought, well, we've got 4 people coming. We might just have to build 4 guitars while 4 guys stand around and watch us. But that's not what happens. And it's neat because everybody keeps in touch, and everybody wants to like I said, Jim and Brian came by, and Chris came by, and Ed Elliott, who's a famous guitar maker. We didn't know, he just stopped by, and I think Michael Beckloff's going to come by tomorrow. So the Eagles are in town or something. So yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a neat thing. Well, who do you want to say hey to while we?
Oh wow.
the-
Family, of course.
The camera is yours.
My wife, who's amazing. We've been married 32 years, and Valerie's amazing. So I know she's not watching, but I'll say hello anyway.
Well, thank you for letting us have David for the week. Just,
Yes.
And my 3 boys, David Jr., Corey, and Justin. So maybe I'll get one of those guys to come out with me next time.
That would be a load of
Very
fun.
Well, thanks for. I just wanted to say hi because I won't be able to say hi tomorrow. So
Thanks
Yeah,
for coming on,
yeah,
David.
right on,
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You gotta get that height.
My chair is like, I had to lower it as low as it would go because David is over 7 feet
Did
tall.
you see? I didn't want to say anything because we hadn't given away that he was here yet.
Yeah.
But a few minutes ago, he went out to the car and came back and hit his head on the door.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no,
he
he
did.
didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yep. So,
David, I'm
you
sorry.
know,
We're going to get the doorway arched next time you're
Yeah.
out here, sir.
get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, David.
Take care, my friend. Have a good night. So, yeah, and it's true. You never know who's watching, and you never know who's going to be at one of these things.
No.
And Yeah, a Olympian and a basketball star. It's really really cool, and I had you have no idea, right?
No, and it's neat because we have him, we have a whole bunch of different.
And you're gonna meet everybody.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we have a whole bunch of different walks of life. Obviously, people that do different things for a living. That maybe somebody's never really seen a tool before.
Sure.
But at the same time, they still dig it. That's why I think this one's so cool, is because if you, I don't want to say are afraid of power tools, but some people. You're not the most handy in the world. It's okay. I think you could still come out here and have some fun.
Absolutely.
I really do. And that's not even to mention how awesome the guitar is. Like he said, it's gonna be a keepsake for him.
Okay.
Forever.
Yeah. Let's talk about the whole heirloom status of the guitar that you make yourself. I know that a lot of guys. I can look around. And I know that Zoltan doesn't come to the United States every single day.
No.
To build a guitar. Jason, this was a gift from your wife, and you got to come out, and that I mean that's such a cool deal. Mike said that he played one of the ones from the other workshop, and he's like, I have two Fender Custom Shop Strats, and this is better than them. I want one of these. Brian Duncan sent another $2 and said, let's chip in and get David a helmet. The poor guy. Our shop is so little and he's so big.
Yeah. For those of you that have been here before, the guitars that all hang right up here above our head, they all had to be moved.
We had to pull them down
because
he kept bonking into them.
The little hook where you can hook a guitar in the doorway, that also had to be we had to opposite of toddler proof.
Yes.
It's like
I David proofed as much as I
He
could.
tried,
David proof as much as you
But
could.
the doorways are still 7 feet tall. So yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think this is really, really fun. I was thinking about it last night, just as I was just laying in your driveway, and I was thinking,
that lacks perspective. So you were hold on.
I was
now.
actually laying on your sidewalk.
Yeah. So Dylan was so drunk he passed out in the sidewalk. No. Everyone knows what. Yeah.
We're here in the module this week, and we are staying at the Flaherty RV Resort. And I was kind of just laying in bed in your sidewalk, and I was thinking how cool this is, and it's a totally different level. Everybody needs to try this.
Yeah.
And don't look at it as one of the things I was thinking about too. The fun thing about this one, there's certain ones of your workshops, like the one last week, where you have to spend a lot of time making sure you don't cut things off, like fingers and et cetera, et cetera. This one is more like a vacation. Come on out, enjoy yourself. I don't think we mind too much if you say, well, can you just help me with this so I can,
if every
eat
single
some more
person
French
said,
fries?
all I want to do is watch you guys make a guitar, I'm fine. Let's do that. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's just, if you just want to come to enjoy yourself, to meet the people, and have a cool thing when you're done, don't worry about skill sets, don't worry about any of that stuff. And I think you would still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can't make it, we have a really cool guitar that you can buy tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't get to meet David Robinson, but
No.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have him sign it. It'd be funny if we did. All right. We also talked about this. One of the things that we're going to start in 2024 is the no-caster workshop.
Yeah.
And I think we want to do that almost identically to this, but we also want to have it to where if you want to come out, you can, but if you don't want, but like, I think we want to make it a little less, even a little less costly.
Okay.
So, like, we're going to buy pickups from you, and we're going to buy parts from Callahan Hardware. that way, like, you don't come out and spend the entire week with, unless you want to.
Yeah.
Or we could do it where we could do it exactly like this one, where the first day is at Steve's or something like that. But the Strat one seemed like the good first one to try, and then the no-caster one seemed like well, let's try that one too. So
I think it's a great idea, and I'm a telly guy, so I think it's a fantastic idea. And we talked about it. Even if it is a little cheaper, even if I don't have to come, I'm still going to try to come because I just think this is worth doing. I think being a part of this community is worth the work to do it.
Yeah, it's really fun. The like I say, the now that the internet has made the world a smaller place, being able to keep in touch with everybody. Remember you used to have to like pen pals. Now there's a Facebook group and everybody can get on there and hang out on Facebook and check out what I'm working on right now. And it's So
No, I think it's great.
What's going on in your channel? Over there,
nothing
sir?
really. Everybody's just kind of well, they're all talking about basketball.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of basketball talk. This time.
Yeah. So that's been that was kind of fun. So, he's not here to defend himself, but I will say I was worried because to teach somebody to wind pickups, it's a fairly delicate thing. I mean, the wire is very small and his hands are like huge. And so I'm telling people that this is where you hold your hand, you locate it on the table right here, like everything there, it's pretty well indexed with the normal human sized hand. The entire program had to change for him because it was like all of the points of reference were different. And he was really good at it.
Now, how about this? This is the very first time that we've ever done a left-handed Strat. And it's the very first time we've had someone over 7 feet tall come in.
It is.
So, like, if you're like, oh, I'm way too tall to come in here, you're not. You're absolutely not.
And if you need a left-handed guitar, you can get one.
That's the other cool thing too. When we first met David on Monday morning, actually we didn't really know who he was, but we knew he was left-handed, and so we were talking about, isn't it cool to get the guitar exactly the color that you want, not the color that Fender says you get, or not the what were some other you can't get a Strat with. I was a little bit shocked that Callahan makes left-handed parts, and they do. So
yeah, because if you go on Fender.com right now and try to get a left-handed Strat, what are you going to get? A red one, a white one, and a black one, or a sunburst, a white one, and a black one, or whatever. Like there's 3 colors, and so
can you get a see-through like Mary Kay Alder Strat body
there's
left-handed?
No way.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No. Not custom shop.
Oh yeah, the custom shop. Probably
Yeah.
can.
But no, these things are cool. I'm really excited.
You can't get your professional basketball number.
No.
Oh, you can.
Your nickname on your guitar either.
You cannot.
Is Mike still coming tomorrow? Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing Mike again. That's good.
Chris made custom little logo decals for almost everybody's peg heads.
Yeah, Mike
And,
wanted a
everybody that
naked
wanted
one.
Everybody that
Yeah.
wanted one, and everybody got to pick their own color, pick how much vintage tint they wanted on their necks. Like, these are just options you just can't get.
Yeah.
As a normal thing.
I'm very much excited for the reveal tomorrow because the guitars, while they are all Strats, they're all a little different and they're all super, super cool.
And one is totally backwards.
And one.
And it
That's
throws everybody off every step of the way.
Yes.
Even painting it is weird.
Oh, is it? Painting it's
Oh,
even
because
weird?
you're like used to it being on the other
I'm
stuff.
so used to them being regular.
Well, I'm looking at this pick guard and I'm like, that's where? How does the? Wait a minute. This goes.
Well, let me tell you,
yeah.
that pick guard, it took me an hour to wire that today. Because
Why's that?
Because everything on a left-handed pickguard is different. So if you hook up the tone pot on this one, it's exactly the opposite end. If you put the pickup here, it's exactly the everything is complete. Normally, folks, when they think of a left-handed guitar, they think, oh, the pots are backwards. So you wire the pots backwards and they have a backwards taper and etc. Yes, but everything on the switch and how all of the tone circuit works. Everything is backwards.
So it's not.
Yeah, it was like,
It never occurred to me. Yeah.
no, I had to redid it twice. I took it all apart and started all over and was like, okay, I think I got it. Yeah, yeah. That's,
So we learn a lot of good stuff in this
Yeah.
in these workshops too.
yeah. And how to. Sometimes people will not know how to do something, and so it makes me think harder about how I do it.
Yeah.
Because that's, when you try to explain to somebody how to file a fret end, or like I like your little illustrations that you use with the chisel and the various things, like to help people visualize. Now he's got a new thing, like a little the truss rod jig over there that you show people
the
how
neck
to,
relief gauge.
and the little gauge, the jig that shows people how the truss rod works and all that kind of stuff, like just visualization.
Well, we sold a guitar to a young man who said, I haven't been playing for long, but I noticed that when I got the guitar, everything was fine, and then after a couple of days, it started to buzz. I'm like, well, you probably need to adjust your truss rod. And I'm like, well, if he's only been playing for a little while, maybe truss rod adjustment isn't something that he's comfortable doing. I don't know. So I really need to make a truss rod adjust. How to adjust the truss rod on a Challenger guitar video. I think that would be a good video to do. So.
Yep.
So yeah, let's talk about. People probably think, man, if I go out there and I wind my own pickups, how do I know they're going to be good? I was shocked and amazed at how consistent. You had 5 brand new pickup winders, 6 brand new pickup winders, and how consistent were they?
They were within. First of all, they all worked. They were all relatively neat and nice and great looking, like, not messy or anything. And we measured all of them. I measured all of them within 5 minutes of each other. And every pickup was within 5.9K and 6.1K, which is literally that's like within a tolerance that I would never even mess with. Like, because
you wouldn't chase
temperature.
that.
No, temperature changes that. Like that's.
I had no idea that was the thing.
You'd never seen that before.
No, never seen
Yeah.
it.
So one of the things we showed him yesterday was, or day before yesterday, was if you take a pickup and you measure it, and it says 5.9K, you put it in hot wax and you go wax pot it, and at that 150 degrees or whatever that wax is, you pull it out and you measure it again, and it's 7.2. It raises about 20%.
Wow.
With that many degrees.
See, did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
Put it in the freezer and it goes down.
Huh.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why I always like to rock under the super hot stage lights. To kind of hit the amp a little harder.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
If your guitar's not like hitting the amp hard enough, you just put a light bulb.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
in front
I
of
get
you.
that UV light and I just heat that sucker up and yeah.
So if it's not hitting the amp hard enough, the spotlight's not on you enough.
Yeah, you practice more. The spotlight will be on you more, and you'll hit the. It's
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's all about the tone.
It's all about the tone, man. All about the tone.
Were you the one last week? Was it last week or something? You said, "Do you, if you have tone wood, do you even need a tone knob?"
That wasn't me. I can't remember who said that. That was that. There's probably somebody watching. It was Doc or Brian
Okay.
or maybe Doug. Or Dave maybe. That sounds like a Dave thing, but yeah.
We have a few people in the class this time that aren't really Strat people, so they're excited. They're like, I don't even know what to do with 2-tone knobs.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. They have a goofy way that they work.
You just
together.
turn them all to 10 and play the thing.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So yeah, people are talking about that. Brian says he likes to personally wear drywall stilts when he's in the workshops. What do you got happening over there? I know that Leslie normally drives the.
Dan Norris from Old Dog Guitars says that the No-Caster workshop has him tempted.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
So right now, Mike Beckloff is signed up for that one, and I think he's got a couple spots. He might bring some of his sons out, and I think some other people are signed up for that one. There are lots of workshops already scheduled for 2024, and more being added all the time. Except for now, this has actually been. It is not a disappointment to me, but it is a disappointment to some people. I've had to say that we've canceled. We're not going to be doing neck through workshops anymore. And the reason that we're not is it's just unless we figure something out, we're just not going to be doing any neck through.
It's a lot to
workshops.
do in 5 days, huh?
It's a lot to do in 5 days, and you add a paint component, and it's just crazy. So we might see if we can streamline the process a little bit, but as of right now, I can't think of how to do that. And here's something, like for the sake of conversation, mahogany is way easier to work than maple.
Right.
So just having having a mahogany neck would make life 100 times easier. So if we did a neck through workshop again, I would imagine it's going to be a mahogany neck, not a maple.
You're already hedging on the no more neck throughs.
Yeah, well, if you were in front of the camera, then I guess you could say something, but you're not. So yeah,
No more neck throughs.
yeah.
I can understand why, because there's a whole lot more backwards and forwards and head scratching and note taking and measurements writing down and
We are not jigged up to make neck through stuff. So, for example, the templates that we use in every workshop are Steve's off-body alignment pin templates. There aren't any for the neck. So if you can imagine, the last workshop we did that Rickenbacker one. Now, in order for the Rickenbacker to work, the neck through portion has to be angled or the same wedge from, if you're 1 5/8 here and 2 and whatever it is here, that wedge has to keep going. So it'd be, if you can keep going on to infinity, it doesn't, the lines are never parallel. Well, very few other neck through guitars are like that. In fact, what they have is a kind of a swoop and then 2 parallel lines that are considerably wider that's a lot harder to do if people say, I want binding. Well, now you have to figure out a way for the binding to go from here to here on a Fender neck or on a Gibson style neck that will be set in later. To put binding from here to here is no big deal. You use the same technique that we've been using for years. On a neck through where the fretboard the neck only comes to here and then swoops up, you can't use the same tooling to do that. So and of course everybody wants binding. So you have to figure that out, and it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So for everyone who was chomping at the bit to do a neck through workshop, there's not going to be any in 2024. I'll be happy to make whatever you want in the set neck variety. That would be cool. And if you want to, Chris, will you hand me that Strat that's got the kind of the swoop out that looks kind of like a neck through, but it's not a neck through? You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If what you're thinking is, gosh, I really want to do a neck through because I love the neck joint, we can do that with a set neck. It's just not going to... Thank you. So we can do that same neck joint. See what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
With it still being a set neck.
Right.
Okay? So it's not a big deal to put that neck joint on. Yeah, we should spray this guitar and finish it up one day. I don't know. I don't really even know why this is a guitar.
Sometimes we build stuff during classes and then it sort of stops and
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to say this body was floating around for a long, long time, and it was a Strat with off-body alignment pins for a Challenger neck and scale.
So if anybody's interested, what is it? It's a 24/75 scale?
So this is a 24 3/4 inch scale, set neck.
Tremolo.
Yep. It's got the for hip shot trem. This is basically a Challenger with a Strat body.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
And it could be any color you wanted at this
it could be,
point.
yeah.
And it could have any set of my pickups that
It could have any set of Dylan humbuckers you wanted. Yeah, right.
and
hip shot trim and hip shot
yeah.
tuners and yeah.
And there you go. Well, you might as well throw that one out to the world. That's pretty cool.
I think what color do you think this should be?
I don't know.
This would what do you think, Chris? Tobacco burst? No.
No.
Something more metal?
Yeah.
Something more metal.
Yeah.
One of your
Meow meow pink.
Ooh, what about that? What's that weird black metallic thing that you do.
Yeah, intergalactic.
Ooh, intergalactic. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Intergalactic with the 73 finish. This would look like a leather jacket. That'd
Oh,
be
it would be cool.
super cool.
Yep.
Yep. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's got cream binding. Is that going to throw off the? Oh, that's another thing. If you get when you're doing a neck through, you have to, given that our shop is jigged up for set necks and bolt on necks, you have to do the side dots before you glue the fretboard. It just makes
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah.
Everything's in a completely different order,
It's
isn't
all
it?
upside
When you
down.
do a neck through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Very interesting stuff.
And now guys are already starting to figure out a workshop for next year. Steve is planning on staying at Brian's house. So yeah, it's already working out.
Well, good.
Yeah.
No, that's what we want. I want.
Can we do this in Intergalactic 73?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
Yep.
Now, how did this contour looks? It actually looks pretty good.
That's you.
I did this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
was about to give you some props there, Chris.
You all of a sudden got really contour snobby.
I am a total contour snob
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
probably spending so much time looking at those strats and getting all
years
those
ago, you
contours.
weren't-
Yep.
I don't care. About
I don't
that.
care about that. Yeah,
I'm
but
making a fender.
And now, I saw you even building a base today, and you're like, "Let me spend some more time on that contour."
Yep,
He
yep.
even said that.
well, so one of the things that we decided to do today there's a lot of downtime when paint's drying. Mm-hmm. So I thought, in order so that people stay halfway intrigued at this whole process, I'm gonna start building myself a P base because I'd like to have a P base.
Yeah.
Because the last one that I played, I loved so much, and Doug bought it, and it's a great base. I think it's totally cool. But I'm like, man, I gotta have one of those. So I'm like, hey guys, let me show you how the pin router works. Let me show you how some of this other stuff works. And then David said, I'll buy that. Son of a So yeah. And I'm not gonna say no. I mean, it's not like I don't need the money.
So here's an interesting thing. People might be thinking to themselves, "Self, I thought he was left-handed."
That's right.
But Chris, you did not just hit your head on the door.
On the side of the
On
door,
the side of the door. Anyway, David Robinson learned to play bass right-handed.
right-handed, but he wants to play guitar.
Left-handed.
Left-handed.
So he actually plays right and left.
Yeah.
I was going to say
plays
both ways, but that is
piano. You think he plays piano left-handed or right-handed?
Probably both-handed. He
That's right.
plays flute, and he plays saxophone.
So let me ask you this: can you buy a left-handed flute?
I don't know. Leslie was wondering if it looked sort of like a toothpick. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a flute is only about this.
You showed us pictures of him playing left-handed saxophone and left-handed
Yeah,
piano.
that's
and,
neat.
Yeah. Left-handed
Musical
clarinet.
family. Musical family, too. Kids play. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so so the guys and I were working on basses today,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of walking them through some of the stuff that they didn't get to do because
The type of class.
the type of workshop that this is, and and so we started making them, and I'm a total contour snob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am too. I like the thinner, these strats that we're building now, these thinner ones. I really like them.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Well, one day I'll make a bass that I keep.
That you get to keep.
Yeah, but it won't be this week. So that's.
I keep saying that about a Texas Toast guitar. One of these days I'm gonna have one. I'll have one of these days.
May I recommend one of the new Challenger level 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you may.
I think that we've got. There's some new level 2s that are coming out that are like badass. They are so neat. White Limba. Mm-hmm. And
I saw them.
Yeah. They're gonna be super cool. And Steve and I actually have a new. I don't know if it's a level 2.5 or we're just getting rid of. We've got a new project that Steve and I are working on for a new Challenger that I think is going to be the only thing that we make for 2024. Not because I don't want to make anything else, but because I think we're going to get so many orders for it that we're just not going to be able to keep them in stock.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig that.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. And we've got so many challengers. We've got Chris and I were in workshops all week last week and all week this week. We're going to take a handful of days off, and then we're going to come back and hit it hard. We've got some paint work that we got to finish. We've got some guitars that we're going to start doing. We've got some Fabric Top Challenger level 2s. We've got some level 1s. We've got a bunch of neat stuff. We've got those white limbo ones. So there's going to be a lot of cool challengers coming. I'm going to have to order a bunch of pickups and a bunch of bridges and tuners.
Cool.
Okay. All
I
right.
should say too, I have one set, and we don't normally do this because we don't make these, but this is a staggered pull piece set that is custom made for another project that I was working on. That you would hear the story if you came to one of these classes, as well as for this class. I do not stock this 57 spec pickup normally, but I made an extra set this week because we were demoing some stuff. So I have one set, and it's $300 plus shipping, just normal price. So if you want those, go to the Dylan Talks Tone website, get in the little chat box, and hit me up, and I'll send you a set in white, black, or cream.
Some people are asking about specific Fender models and some kind of tricky ones. Someone asked for a Cooter caster. I'm imagining that Rye Cooter guitar with the Bigsby on it, the Strat with
And
the
that
Bigsby.
plate and all that.
Yeah. So we offer, in fact, next month we're offering, next month is a Build a Classic Fender workshop. So you could make some of that kind of stuff. And a bass is something that you could make in that. You could do a Strat, you could do a Telly, you could do something with a Strat headstock. You could do something with a Telly headstock that's not a Strat or a Telly. So yeah, a lot of that stuff is possible. As of right now, I don't think we have any bass 6, anything like that. We can't do that. But I think, yeah, if you want to do a Strat with a Bigsby on it, we could do that because you get the neck and we build the body for you. You build the body, and you supply all the hardware for that. So you would come out, we would get you the neck, and it would look not unlike this, and you could make whatever body you wanted, and the Fender neck would bolt up to it. And if you want to put a Bigsby on it, go for it. If you want to put a P90 in it, or however Ry Cooter's guitar is, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's got like a pedal, or it's got like a steel guitar pickup on one end or something.
Okay.
The horseshoe, yeah.
Yeah. So you would need to source all that stuff
That weird
yourself.
stuff, yeah.
And you would need to provide us with some sort of a template to work with, but I don't see why not. I mean, I'm not 100% familiar with the Ry Cooter Strat, but I know it's got a Bigsby, right?
I don't know. I know more about the giant pickup that's on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Somebody was asking some questions over here. So could you explain what you build here and what you don't build here? So there's some things for the classes
Okay.
that are made. We just want to keep this straight for folks who are, you have a couple of models and you have some class stuff that you
Yeah.
don't make here, but then everything else you do.
Okay.
So get
So-
that straight for everybody.
So, obviously, the $9,000 Stratocaster workshop, we're building Strats. And in that one and the $9,000 No-Caster workshop, we're building Tellys. We provide everything for both those workshops. So, you're pretty locked into building a Strat with Dylan pickups and Callahan hardware. So, it's all tier 1 stuff. They all have maximum guitar necks and bodies. But there's a lot of stuff that you get to do, and you walk out of here with a guitar that is every bit the equal and better than the boutique builder. Plus, you get to make a lot of it yourself.
Yep.
Our Build a Classic Les Paul class that we're offering in December, which I believe is the only workshop that we still have spaces for 2023. You're building a Les Paul.
Yep.
Okay. And that's another one of those ones where we're providing all the hardware for that too. If you come out to Build a Classic Fender, you get a neck and a block of wood, and we do all the stuff with you. You make the body for that. You do all the paint work. You do all the fret work. You put everything together. But that's one where you provide all the hardware. because I can't source, a Rycooter steel guitar pickup and a set of Lawlers and a set of whatever. So we lowered the price on that so that you could, you guys provide the hardware for that, and that way you show up with this big pile of stuff and we help you put it together. We do offer the guitar woodworking workshop, which is we give you a big pile of wood and help you put it together in 5 days. Now, because you start with a big pile of wood, you don't walk out with a guitar that's strung up and ready to play. In fact, in 5 days, you walk out with a guitar that's just wood and has no paint on it.
Not unlike that thing you just showed us. Like the
Yes.
that the Strat with the humbuckers thing.
Exactly.
It's not unlike that.
Yep.
Okay.
So we do offer a 2-day paint extension for that, and that's kind of a dip your toe in the world of paint. I like to say that's the down payment that you make for learning to paint. You've got to keep the payments up, but yeah, back at home. But yeah, we give you some tools and some ideas and some products that we use, and the guitar is painted, so you go home and you can put it together and have a cool guitar. It's basically what it is it's a way to get Chris to paint your guitar for an extra however much the workshop is, and it's cheap. So we have that. There have been a lot of people who want to know if they can build a Challenger in a workshop. As of right now, no. However, I'm working on a handful of ideas for that. Maybe one day we'll be able to do that. Given that Steve at Maximum Guitar Works builds all of the necks and bodies for our level 1 and level 2 guitars, and it's not a whole lot different from this, I'm kind of like, well, maybe we could do that. However, I am going to be a real stickler for fretwork and other stuff that I would let pass. If it says Fender on it or has a Fender headstock, I'm not going to let pass. And it's not going to say Texas Toast on it. It's going to say, did we talk about what that could possibly say, Chris, if we decide to do this?
I'm sorry, what?
Never mind. What do you want? Well, I don't want to repeat every single thing that I just said, so yeah.
What was the question to me?
The question to you was, what's the headstock going to say on that class?
The Challenger class that doesn't exist.
Should we decide to do it?
Yeah. TTG. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Something.
I threw Chris under the bus. I'm not trying to do that, but I didn't know he was looking at his phone and not do it. Anyway, if we offer, and this is a big if we offer a Challenger like level 2 workshop, I'm gonna source everything because I don't want this to go home and be something that is not perfect in every way. So it's gonna have all hip shot everything, just like our guitars, our level 2s. And I'm gonna be a real stickler about frets. I'm gonna be a real stickler about nuts. I'm gonna be a real stickler about every single thing. And it's not that I'm not a stickler for that stuff now, but you think it's bad now. It's gonna be terrible if you're putting together a Challenger. So yeah. Anyway, Brian Duncan wants to know if we still offer the carved top class. Yes, we do. That is a workshop that we kind of combined with the regular woodworking workshop. If you want to build a carved top version of a guitar, right now the only thing that we have available is the Les Paul top. However, I'm working with Steve on some other carved top options for next year. So be prepared for there to be a Paul Reed Smith style violin carved double cutaway next year in one of the workshops.
That's cool.
So now it's going to have to come with Steve's going to have to figure out the carved top thing as well as the template set that works with that. So until that stuff comes out, and so that's not going to be something that's first or second quarter of next year. Okay, it's going to be third, probably fourth quarter for 2024.
That's really cool.
But yeah, it's a lot of work to get this stuff done, and it's going to mean that I'm going to have to make a bunch of these things to make sure that I can do this in 5 days, so that Chris and I can start with mostly nothing and turn out something that's
really
good.
Cool, yeah.
So the Les Paul one took us a long time to figure out. So we haven't even started working on the PRS one yet. So like I said, it's probably going to be third quarter of 2024 at the earliest for that. So
Oh, that's neat.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, but as far as us making guitars, we have a handful of models that we make. Our Challenger level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4, and those are varying degrees of, like, the level 1 is it only comes with P90s, and it only comes with the least amount of paint that we can do, because that guitar is $12.99. By the way, Steve, I shipped your Challenger level 1 yesterday. Our Challenger level 2 is exactly the same, but you can get it with any pickup combination that you want, and it's got more paint on it. But they're both set neck guitars. They're you can also choose the body wood on the level 2. The level 1 is maple neck, maple neck, rosewood fretboard, mahogany body, and P90s, hip shot hardware, and that's it. You can get a level 2 in a lot of different features. Level 3 and both those are carved tops. Level 3 and level 4 are very similar to that, but I make everything by hand. So Steve doesn't do anything on those guitars. I make them all. And as you can imagine, any of the things that that I make by hand are going to be more money. And I'm happy to do it, but I don't have a whole lot of orders for people that go, gosh, Matt, I just want you to be the one to make my guitar for me. No sweat. We got a guitar for you then.
yeah. And I don't want to gloss over a $1,300 carved top.
Yep. Can we see one of those real quick?
That I hadn't seen one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've never
completely
actually
finished.
Yeah.
This thing
Here it comes.
is sick because
You got it?
yep, it's so light
Yeah.
and thin and just, totally resonant, bro. It's
Totally.
like, it's so cool. This guitar is so cool, man. And
Let me ask you: if we did a deal where we did like, these come standard with, or like we did a special run, Challenger level 1 or level 2 with Dylan pickups, would you rather do level 1 or level 2? I'm thinking that the level 1 with 2 P90s would be the obvious choice, because it would be, we'd tack on another couple $100 and they would still be really super affordable guitars.
yeah, you would still be in relatively good money, and you would have really good pickups, and they would be.
You get to choose the paint color that you got.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be a sweet guitar.
Yeah.
Well, but what would you rather do, level 1 or level 2?
Level 1, because I think it would be a very attainable guitar for people.
Okay.
Because this would be a $14.99 instrument with
Yeah.
custom shop.
Yeah,
pickups
this
in it.
would be under $1,500.
Yeah, and
Thank
a
you, Chris.
literally a carved top. You guys, this is thinner than like an Ibanez. Remember those Ibanezes that were super, super thin? This is like that.
It's basically an SG on the side.
What does it weigh? Like 6.5?
They're just under 7 pounds, both of these.
Yeah. Just unbelievably cool guitars. I am super stoked on them. I haven't played one yet, but strummed around on them a little bit, and they're, these things are incredible. And we should say too, $1,500. So if this had my pickups in it, $1,500 guitar, blind fret slots.
Oh yeah.
So no fret sprout happening here.
Nope.
Hip shot hardware.
Yep.
Everything is just. This is cool.
They also have 3-piece necks. Now these two don't, but as of right now, they all are going to come with 3-piece necks, a 3-piece maple necks, and we'll show those off because I've got a bunch of them in the back. They're totally excellent. They're all vertical grain. They're really, really nice.
Yeah, these
So
are
if you
really
want
cool.
one of the last of the 1-piece necks, there's that one and there's this one. So and they're on the website right now.
Yeah.
You could buy it.
Super cool. And stay tuned for tomorrow, because the rest of this Stratocaster is going
Yes.
to be done, and we're going to have that thing ready too.
Well, let's talk. I'd like to talk to you more about a Dylan Talks Tone, Dylan Pickups TTG Challenger Level 1 idea. I think that's a super cool idea.
I think it's a great idea.
What do you think, Chris?
You want to hand them off? Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yep.
Oh,
Just
thanks,
because I know that these that these P90s and these guitars will be killer. I think it'll be great. Yeah.
Hey, Brandon Kaminsky's here. Sand and
Brandon.
Brandon's here.
Sand and Brandon.
Do you think Sand and Brandon will swing by the shop tomorrow? Maybe pick up his guitar finally. What's that? I know he is, but yeah, we've got some stuff for him. So yeah.
Rusty Fenders is over here too.
Hey, Jose, how are you doing,
Yeah.
man? Well, guys, we are gonna go get some
Mexican.
food, and then we're gonna go have some drinks. Although I am 5 days sober, I don't have a chip or anything. I just didn't want to drink during October. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
So yeah, man. Well, so guys, stick around for the reveal, or don't. Well, go do whatever you're gonna do for the next 23 hours.
23 hours, yeah. We're going to be scrambling to finish 6 guitars.
I think there's going to be a little bit of a scramble tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be bad.
No, I think it'll be good.
So we'll see you guys in 23 hours for a cool reveal, if not before. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you some more then. I'm also looking forward to go getting some of those tacos with all the meats in them. What are they? Tacos?
Cowboy tacos.
Cowboy tacos. Yeah. Oh, man, those are good. So anyway, let's go do that, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks a
for
lot.
hanging out with me tonight.
We'll
Dylan.
see you.